Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's episode is called Do Not Move to San Francisco. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can always like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on that notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. Now, let's get started. People are always asking about where they should move to because where they currently reside is becoming unbearable. Where should you move to is a complicated question. However, we can definitely tell you where you should not move to. The answer to that question is San Francisco, California. Do not move to San Francisco under any circumstances. Go to the dictionary and look up synonyms for sewers and septic tanks, and the synonym is almost always San Francisco. Why shouldn't you move to San Francisco? Well, we could spend the next 3 hours telling you why you shouldn't move there, and if you still live there, we're going to tell you why so many of your neighbors are getting out. First of all, let's begin with the explosion in unprosecuted crime. There are a lot of high crime cities in the United States and around the world, but San Francisco is one of those cities where the politicians, the billionaire business leaders, and many of their citizens suffer from a severe mental illness called don't insult or be rude to criminals by arresting or prosecuting them. That's right. I believe that the formal acronym for this mental problem is DIRCAP, D-I-R-C-A-P, which of course means, as you may have guessed, don't insult or be rude to criminals by arresting or prosecuting them. This mental illness in San Francisco is now so pervasive and such an epidemic that one of the city's largest newspapers just ran an editorial, get ready for this, questioning the citizens of the city of San Francisco by asking them if they should just get accustomed to constant burglaries and robberies as part of the reparations they feel they should pay to poor people and drug addicts in the city. Do you see how completely insane the crazy rich people suffering from this mental illness called DIRCAP in San Francisco are? They're actually trying to guilt people who've been victimized by crimes all day long into not doing anything about it. Don't report it. Don't complain about it. Don't try and remedy the problem. Just accept it because that's the proper politically correct thing to do. One thing that you'll see very quickly is that all the lunatics suffering from this belief system, DIRCAP, tell people that they shouldn't complain when they're attacked. No, don't do that. The criminal that attacked you, that stole your car or beat up your wife or whatever, that criminal is the real victim, not you. You're not a victim. These are the same lunatics who immediately call the police when they're attacked, but they're trying to dissuade you from calling the police or doing anything yourself to protect yourself or defend your family when you're attacked. But the moment they're hit by a crime, they'll call a dozen different officers and scream and beg for mercy. Heaven forbid you should call them a bad name, an inappropriate name. They'll call 911 just as fast as if they just witnessed a murder. Another issue in San Francisco is the growing river of human feces, human waste flowing down the sidewalks. It's everywhere. It's on the streets, it's on the sidewalks, it's on the floors of stores and restaurants. Think about that the next time you walk into a San Francisco restaurant to eat. It's everywhere. It's the gift that keeps on giving. And heaven help you if you slip and fall in it. Your first thought will probably be to go home immediately and wash those clothes, but that's a terrible idea. What some people with a great sense of humor in San Francisco are doing is that they're either burning those clothes immediately because you just don't know what disease may have been embedded in them when you fell down and rolled around in that muck, or they may decide to mail those same clothes to their favorite San Francisco politician with a note inside saying that the enclosed soiled clothing is their campaign contribution to that politician for helping to create the environment that citizens now have to live in. Now, we don't think you should actually do that just because other people are doing it. I don't think it's appropriate. It may not even be legal. I don't know. But it shows you the length and depth of the frustration that citizens of San Francisco feel with their mentally ill politicians. Another reason you should not move to San Francisco is the price of real estate, gasoline, food, and the fact that everywhere you look, there's a heroin addict standing in front of you or next to you or sitting next to you or staring at you. A lot of that heroin addict staring going on. When you see the prices of homes and apartments now, they're so insanely high, it's actually funny because all the lunatics buying them now still believe they'll make money when the price goes higher. That's what happens when you are too disconnected from reality. You believe in the perpetual fantasy. Things will just keep getting better and better. That bubble is not going to pop. Not to worry. This is San Francisco. We're special. We suspect that when the real estate bubble does pop, most properties in San Francisco will lose between 50 and 80% of their value. And when that does happen, we suspect that the bankruptcy lawyers are going to be even busier than the heroin addicts. There's another really interesting phenomena that's taking place in San Francisco, and it's very similar to what we see in Los Angeles. In LA, everyone walks around thinking that they are someday going to become a movie star, a reality star, a rap star, a musician, a supermodel. Even though they're working as a waitress now or as a prostitute or delivering or driving Uber 14 hours a day, even though they're working, in those professions, they're still convinced that one day the heavens will bless them and they too will see their name in lights. For some of them, it's just optimism, but unfortunately for too many of them, it's delusional and it's a growing problem. In San Francisco, the problem is that way too many people believe that they're going to be super rich just by creating the next great app or tech company. What's funny about that is the enormous number of tech companies and apps that have been funded and created that have never made any money at all. Why? Because their business models are stupid or their founders are delusional. It's a level of mass hypnosis, mass psychosis. There are more than 5.7 million apps on both the Android App Store and the Apple App Store. 5.7 million apps. Current estimates are that only 1/100th of 1% will ever make some money. Not make a profit, some money. That means they may make, 10 or 20 bucks a year. Now, many of these same apps cost anywhere from 500,000 to 2 million to develop and bring to market. So ask yourself, how do those economics work out in your favor? Now, it's great to have ambition or dreams, but too many people in the tech industry feel that drugs or hallucinogenics or nonstop weekend binge drinking will somehow facilitate the achievement of their dreams. I can't tell you how many tech billionaires I know who routinely take mushrooms or other hallucinogenics on the weekends because these morons think it will genuinely expand their consciousness, their ability to come up with new business ideas. That's right. That's what you do. You take mushrooms or you lick the belly of a frog to come up with great ideas. And nobody seems to care about the potential severe brain damage that these hallucinogenics can cost. If you walk through the city full of heroin addicts and start randomly asking them if they've ever done hallucinogenics or mushrooms, many of them will say yes, but it never hurt them. It just opened up their consciousness. Then if you talk to them for another 30 seconds, you realize very, very quickly that you're talking to a very disturbed and incoherent individual, and their problems probably weren't caused by heroin. Now this drug usage advocacy is now being pushed by the culture lunatics on the school systems. They urge to legalize more and more of these drugs on the kids. So, if you want to see your kids turn into narco vegetables, then by all means enroll them in a San Francisco school and watch what happens as they gradually lose their ability to form a coherent thought or speak in an intelligible fashion. Look, here's the reality of it. San Francisco isn't a city anymore. It's the set of the largest horror movie ever, and its citizens are too damaged, confused, or high, or drunk, or all of the above to really understand and process what's going on and what's been done to them. I would not recommend that anyone move from San Francisco. And if you're still living there, I recommend that you do everything in your power to get out and move elsewhere. Why? Because what's coming in the next few years is going to make today's completely insane San Francisco look like Disneyland. With that, I want to thank you for watching. I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on the notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. Thank you, and we shall see you soon. Goodbye.